In the 1980s, the home computer game market exploded. Everyone wanted arcade games at home, and the giants who owned the rights to titles such as Pac-Man, Donkey Kong and Defender were very happy to oblige. But it's sometimes the smaller publishers that do a better job when it comes to the content and also the cover art. Even though I didn't realise it at the time, I think one of the main reasons I loved and still love 1980s 8-bit video games is the art, the high contrast primary colour imagery and the game packaging. Just like records or even CDs, classic games have a physical presence when the machine they play on is switched off, something you can hold, look at and read. In the early days the quality of cover art varied enormously, but there were genres and publishers that stood out. I probably would never have gone for the industrial and educational workhorse BBC Micro if it hadn't been for a local shop stocking Acornsoft games. Back then I lived quite near Acorn's Cambridge base, which may have influenced shops to stock their products as much as those for rival manufacturers. But whatever the reason, I remember seeing the large black Acornsoft boxes, much bigger than a standard cassette box, with what looked like a properly engineered arcade game inside. And they really did deliver with the games too. Acornsoft took a very literal approach to their early game covers. They were basically screenshots. But at a time where you wanted to buy a home version of the arcade game, it was reassuring to see that Planetoid really did resemble Defender. Allegedly. The large coverfold boxes also had ample area for readable instructions, which is nice. In my opinion, this screenshot approach worked well for Acornsoft. But there's a problem. What if you're publishing a text adventure? The opportunity for a hastily drawn, crappy interpretation is immense. But again, Acornsoft did wonders with these pop art style images. In the more popular Commodore and Sinclair worlds, there were two publishers who stood out for me with their approach and quality of cover art. Imagine advertised heavily in the UK mags of the early 80s, and their slick cartoon interpretations, zany titles and eye-catching logo always impressed. They were well aware of brand marketing opportunities even back in 1984. I had Catch a Snatcher for my old VIC-20 and I have a copy of Arcadia for the Spectrum now. I must admit I think the games were good, but the artwork was better. Ouch! Ultimate delivered in-game graphics and cover art. Earlier titles such as Psst and Trans Am had cute cartoons and bright colours. Then Jetpack, Lunar Jetman and Attic Attack introduced slightly more serious but beautifully drawn images, still in a cartoon style but less cute. Jetpack is a highly playable arcade-style shooter, but after Attic Attack, Ultimate games were more action-adventure and exploration puzzle-based. Sabrewulf and Alien 8 moved to a more abstract approach, which continued with games such as Underworld and Nightlaw. They seemed much more grown-up and lost some of the humour seen in earlier titles. Nightshade straddled the cartoon and abstract design philosophies. It was colourful and stylish without being too serious. Both Imagine and Ultimate changed the extravagant title fonts for each release, and that title font played a large part in the cover. Acornsoft kept a constant font and layout which felt a lot more serious. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, it's a bit boring, but you want software to be well built, right? Yeah. Of course you can't judge a book by its cover. There were plenty of great 8-bit games that didn't have amazing covers, but are still legendary for the era. Exile is one of my favourite 8-bit games, it's a masterpiece. But the cover looks like I drew it in the shed. I do like the title graphic though, in fact it reminds me of one of the most iconic game covers of all. You may have your own opinions on this subject, and I know I've been a bit UK centric, so please feel free to comment. I hope you enjoyed, if you did then don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers!